I'm just the best there is, plain and simple. I piss excellence.
Hello and welcome to Slice of Piefer. That was a great intro. Welcome, Taylar. Glad you're here.
Thank you.
Exclusive guest.
Rarely seen.
Rarely ever seen on the podcast.
Rarely
welcome.
seen here, of her own accord. That's for sure. I don't know if I've ever been here of my own volition.
Of your own volition. You're using a lot of SAT words. I like it.
I did recertify for my I did my first section of my PANRE questions.
Yes.
Which is the recertifying. For PAs every 10 years, you do 25 questions every quarter, every 10 weeks, I think is what it is.
Nice.
And so I did all 25 of them yesterday, and I said, you know what? We're just going to go in blind. We're not going to do any prep courses. We're not going to buy any books. We're just going to go based on our knowledge. And there was, out of the 25 questions, one orthopedic question.
Nice.
All the other 24 were...
So you got 1 out of 25 correct. Well done.
Nope. I got more than that. No studying and stuff. I got 19 out of 25. So
I love that.
I'm cool with
Good
that.
for you. Congrats.
Yeah. Thanks.
Well played.
I can't talk any more about it because I did have to sign a thing when I took it saying I wasn't going to disclose more about
Tell me
anything
all
on the
of
questions.
the questions.
Correct. Can't talk about any of that. You can't use AI or any kind of things like that to look up the question answers, but you can use textbooks, you can use online resources, but you can't.
You can't Google it?
Yeah, you can't copy and paste the question into a Google bar or Chat GPT. Yeah. Apparently that's cheating.
Nice. That is
it's not collaboration.
Right. It's not collaborative with AI. I feel that. I can feel that for sure.
The hard thing in today's technology, though, is you Google something and it goes through AI, right? If you put something into a Google taskbar, it's like AI gives you a response. So it's man, I don't know what to do with my hands.
That's right.
Can't Google.
Old Ricky Bobby.
Coming back full circle.
I like it. Well done. Well done, Taylar. Mm-hmm. Just complete and total excellence. Well, we have a big week.
Yes. We
have a big week this week. Lots of patients. Mm-hmm. I think we've already seen almost 100 people this week.
It's been a busy week.
Yeah, which is crazy and awesome and a great opportunity to get everybody here. So I think that's amazing. We have big weeks coming up ahead, which are going to be really fun. Not only surgically, but also on call again next week after having 6 days of call out of 7 or out of 6 out of 7. In February, I think I've got 3 days in a row in the first week of March before hopping onto spring break. Then on spring break, a quick flight back for the Houston Aspire Tour, and then back to spring break with my family. It's going to be so good.
You are crazy like a fox. Why are you doing that?
Because I love it. It's so fun.
You love.
And this is my hometown.
My hometown.
I'm just a simple country doctor.
What part of Houston you come from?
I'm just a simple country doctor talking to you about leadership.
You got to lead the ship.
Very true.
Comes
Very
with
true.
some specific strategery.
There is a lot of strategery, actually, when it comes to this. I was going to see if I could get back in time. There's a dinner on Monday night that I wanted to attend, but in order to do that, then I was going to miss almost all my vacation. So I had to say, I'm going to fly in late, miss only the evening of Monday night, and then I'll be back by Wednesday morning. So it'll be fun. I get to spend the one night in the airport like a jet setter.
Better you than me, man. I don't know. You just must be for the love of the game, because I don't know how. Why interrupting your spring break to come back and to talk to people?
You like talking.
That is true. I can testify. You do like to talk.
What's wrong with that?
There's nothing wrong with that. You and I both love to talk.
Yes.
It gets us into trouble.
That's why we get nothing done.
We get so much done, but we just gab the whole time.
Also true. Also very true. No, so they invited me, and Aspire really wanted me to be a part of Houston because this is where I'm at. And so they gave me the opportunity to give away speaker tickets, which is really cool. Giving away Emerald level tickets, which are speaker guest tickets. They put the face value at $449, and they are free, which is super cool. So already have given away quite a few, triple digits of giveaway tickets. So I might be getting a phone call from Aspire saying, hey, slow your roll there, Bubba.
Yeah, too many tickets.
Right. What are all these people with free tickets?
I've got a golden ticket. I've got an emerald ticket.
Yes, we could make it. We could go emerald like Wizard of Oz theme.
We mean, or I was thinking Willy Wonka style, like giving out the tickets, the golden tickets.
The golden tickets, yes.
But
I
you're
was
thinking Emerald City.
Emerald City, right? Follow the yellow brick road.
We could do both. You could do a hybrid mashup of Wizard of Oz and Willy Wonka. I like where this is going. There's chocolate involved. There's death of children. I love it.
Wizard of Wonka.
Yes. There may be some witches, some brooms.
Some monkeys, some flying monkeys.
Did you know that I was in Wizard of Oz?
No.
You didn't?
The actual movie?
No. I was in the play.
Were you a monkey?
No. I was in the play.
Yes.
Can you guess what character I played?
Dorothy.
Nope.
Scarecrow.
Nope.
Lion.
Ding, 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 ding. I was the lion, the cowardly lion.
Nice.
Yeah.
So what did the cowardly lion sound like? There you go. Well done.
You're welcome.
See? Thanks.
Hollywood's calling right now. It's spam risk.
Hollywood said, man, she is so good.
Yeah.
So good.
There was more females to be cast like in the play because there was more girls in our school at that time. So
right.
I often would take male roles, like when I did community theater and stuff. And so that was one where I was the cowardly lion, and they were like, well, you could just be a girl lion. I was like, there's no way. I'm going to do a man voice the whole time.
And how'd it go?
Went well. I had a really good time doing that one. And then I got recruited from that one to do a couple of other plays after
Man
that.
voices?
Yes, sometimes. I was the centipede in James and the Giant Peach after that. Which is also a male character. I had to wear suspenders.
What do they sound like?
Hold on, let me think of one of my lines. I had to sing as a male as well, so I had to kind of like rap it.
I've got a golden ticket.
No, that is Willy Wonka. This was James and the Giant Peach.
Yes. Okay. James and the Giant Peach.
Yeah.
Centipede version. Take 1.
How you doing, sweetheart?
I like it. There you go.
He was
Very
from
nice.
Brooklyn, apparently.
He was a Brooklyn centipede.
Yeah, he wore like one of those hats and wore suspenders and was kind of a gangster.
Yeah.
So it was nice. After that one, I did play a lady after that, but she was like a 80-year-old woman from Alabama that I had to wear a fat suit for. It was lots of fun.
Nice. Like Eddie Murphy.
Like the clumps. The Nutty Professor.
You were the Nutty Professor. Nice.
Kind of. Basically. That's the goal.
You're basically the Nutty Professor. That's good.
Yeah. So, anywho, we could go for your Aspire tour doing some kind of Willy Wonka, Wizard of Oz mashup.
I know, but you're not even going to be there.
Yes, because somebody's got to stay here and see your patients.
You could dress up like a centipede and really mix it up.
Really off theme.
You could mix it up.
They would be like,
why not?
What is this middle-aged woman talking like a gangster centipede doing up here at Aspire? We're trying to inspire people, and you are scaring them.
You are scaring people away. I love it. Yeah, we are going to try. So lots of cool stuff at Aspire. I speak sometime in the early afternoon, which is going to be very fun. Kevin O'Leary is going to be speaking in the morning.
Mr. Wonderful?
Mr. Wonderful. That's correct. He stole my name, trademarked it and everything.
He trademarked it?
Yeah.
He's smart like that. I'm not surprised.
I don't know if he trademarked it, but he owns it. he owns that land. Yeah. He's speaking in the morning. I'm supposed to speak in the middle of the afternoon. I think Cody Sanchez speaks late in the afternoon. She's kind of the final keynote speaker, but then lots of speakers all throughout the day. But we're going to take Slice of Piefer on the road. Yay. That's the plan. Oh.
You mean that I'll get my...
Is that extra loud for you?
That was pretty loud. You mean I get my office back for a little bit?
A little bit, yes. But we're bringing all the goods, all the fun stuff. We're going to hook it up down at Hilton Americas, downtown Houston. Somehow it's going to happen while I'm traveling from Colorado to here. Thanks, Justin. He's behind the camera, people. And Brittany is going to help us to get that set. And then we're going to go from there. See if we can make the magic happen.
You have fun with that.
It's going to be good. We're going to probably Zoom you in. Maybe we can do a Zoom conference with you. We could StreamYard you in.
How am I going to do that while I'm seeing patients?
Well, we can block a small 10 minutes, 20 minutes. We'll block 4 hours of your day. It's going to be so good.
Come on now. Yeah, man.
Yes, that's what we're going to do. I believe. We just got to look at the schedule. We'll take a look and see how it looks. It's going to be good. A million people asking me, why are you doing this? And I say,
one of those people
just
asking
because.
is me.
Taylor, what do you mean? It's so fun.
Because what and why? Like,
is the juice worth the squeeze? That's what you're trying to tell me? Mm-hmm. Yes, is the answer.
Yeah. Are you enjoying the squeeze?
Yes.
That's good.
Yeah.
You learning something?
Absolutely.
What are you learning?
I think what I've learned is that there's a lot more hours in the day to do stuff than I gave myself credit for. So, because still working full time, doing all this stuff, I have plenty of time after hours to take care of it and then still do all the fun stuff that my kids want to do, which has still been fun. Now, granted, 13, 15, and 17, they don't have as much fun stuff that they want to do with dad, interestingly enough. So that's kind of a bummer. Like we don't build Legos and puzzles and all that fun stuff anymore. But
you could. I mean, I'm a 37-year-old who still builds Legos. So
I understand what you're saying, but you need that partner in crime. You need the 17-year-old to say, hey, I'm going to do it. And if they're like, hey, I'm going to go work out, then you can go work out with them.
You could do that. And you could say, hey, we're going to go do this workout together. And I'm going to teach you some things. You'll teach me some things. And then we're going to go do a nice cool off at home over a nice set of Legos.
Yes.
Pick out a fun one that's a theme that they like and just have it sitting at the table. The fun will happen.
There you go. Legos and Alani, our future sponsors.
Dude, my house gives people like anxiety if they walk in, if they're like really into like the aesthetic of things. Because when you walk in, I just have shelves that are all around the top that have a bunch of like completed Lego sets together.
Nice.
I mean, just because again, it's something that we bond over. The real reason I have them displayed up there, most of those, actually almost all of them, are not ones I've done by myself. Almost all of them are ones that if I've done them, my kids' hands were in on it, my husband's hands were in on it, like we did them together.
Nice.
And it's just
memories.
Yeah, it's memories. So.
Watercolored, painted memories.
Memories all alone. No.
Dude, I appreciate it.
Not a singing podcast.
It could be.
I've done it too many times already. I think the buzzer's gone off 3 times. I think I'm done with my
you got
melodies. Rude.
That was kind of rude. Sorry, I still don't know these buttons very well. So, all good. Have you watched the Olympics?
Some of it, yes.
Curling? Mm-hmm. What do you think of curling? Everyone's upset with the Canadians.
Yeah. Well, and I liked the Babylon Bee article that was like, now the curling team will be lowered into the cave until the next Winter Olympics or whatever.
I didn't see that one. That's funny.
Dan told me the other day that the stones used for curling only come out of 2 like places. Like there's a very specific type of stone that's used for curling and it only can come from 2 mines. And I would assume he would know since he went to the School of Mines.
Dan?
Yeah. I mean, he went to...
I thought he went to the School of Mimes. No?
No.
You sure? Come on, Dan.
No, School of Mines. So there's 2 that are well known.
South Dakota School of Mimes.
Yeah, there's Colorado School of Mimes and then South Dakota School of Mimes. He went to South Dakota School of Mimes.
Right. You can't talk at all the whole 4 years. You're just by yourself.
Yeah. Well, that probably happened anyway because it's a bunch of engineering nerds who are just staring at the floor the whole time.
Dan.
He told me they literally put the advertisements for clubs and things or anything they want the students to notice on the ground because it's more likely to be seen if it's plastered onto the floor than if they have it up on the walls.
Because they're too busy miming?
Sure.
I'm just going to beat this dead horse.
Yeah. That horse is in a pulp behind you and getting turned into glue.
They put the advertising on the floor. What does that say?
That
Not a lot of eye contact.
Feet. Yeah.
Not a lot of eye contact. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So.
I can see that.
And it's like a 7 men to 1 female ratio. Like It's just all kinds of awkward.
I hear you.
But it's a really great school, really great engineering program. So apparently very well sought after.
I like it. Yeah, I saw the curling guy and he did the little push with his finger at the end. Mm-hmm. But I don't know the rules well enough to know. Yeah, but somebody was not happy about it.
I don't know.
Sweden, and then he was really not happy about it.
I don't know.
Dropping some. You didn't see that? Canadian guy.
Yeah, I saw it, but again, like Europeans and Canadians fighting is kind of, par for the course.
Right. I don't know what to think of that, but I'll leave it there. We'll let that marinate for sure. Skiing. Do you see Lindsey Vonn?
Yes.
Tough injury. Mm-hmm. We've talked about compartment syndrome a lot of times. Mm-hmm. And she apparently had it or was developing compartment syndrome.
Concern for it, yeah.
Concern for compartment syndrome. You could see on her initial pictures when she was in the external fixator that they had a fasciotomy that was like peeking out underneath the bandage. I don't know if you could see that on that one. You could see where they
had the wound vac and all that.
They had the vessel loops. It looked like a little
sponge,
a little sponge that was there. Which, for those that don't know what compartment syndrome is when you get increased pressure inside of the compartment, secondary to a fracture or a vascular injury or a crush type injury, that then cuts off the blood flow to the rest of the leg and to the muscles within that compartment and can cause some significant severe issues. And it looks like that's what she had, which is kind of incredible that she's doing as well as she did. I saw the x-rays, 3 massive plates, medial, lateral, and posterior. And it looked like they did a fabulous job. I mean, they really put it together nicely. But goodness gracious, that is a devastating injury.
Yeah. Well, and when you look, like when I was looking at the external fixator, to me, like it looked so high, like where they put everything. So I was thinking she had more like some higher up injury. I was not prepared to see all that going on with the comminution in the shaft that she had down there. And then her post-op films, they lined everything up really well. But you you can see that joint line, and there's a step off there. Like but she's already had, I think, a partial on her other knee too, right?
Right. I mean, you're hoping, basically the whole battle there is to try to build bone stock for a total knee in the future, right? Because this is going to be a nightmare in terms of just overall functionality. Now, the crazy thing is, and the cool thing about being an Olympic level athlete is that in terms of kind of the rest of us, she's not going to be going to PT 2 days a week and having to do her exercises on her own. She's probably going to be, once they get her cleared, she's probably already doing range of motion exercises. She's not going to be doing weight bearing stuff, but obviously they'll get her going weight bearing, they'll get her working out. And then, she has, as a celebrity, she's got such a high incentive to try to get out and be able to walk without a limp and do all these different things and show how resilient she is, which is really pretty cool. So, and I think she'll do it. I think she will be, I think she's going to be able to make a huge impact there, just in terms of motivating people and moving forward. She's going to be obviously somebody who's going to be on speaking tours and doing stuff, because she had an ACL tear, I think, in the weeks before the Olympics. She had a recurrent ACL tear or an acute ACL tear on that knee. She had a partial joint replacement on the other side, and everybody has their opinions about whether you should be skiing at a high level doing those different things, but you only live once. Well,
and I think that even if you disagree with the decision to continue to participate, I think you have to respect the grit that she has.
100%.
You have to respect the dedication she has, and she didn't go into that with any. I mean, she went into it with the expectation that this could happen, right? Right. She would have gotten lots of opinions. Her orthopedic surgeon would have been very clear with her what the risks were. And she knew that it was, but she decided to do it anyway. Right. And again, you can debate whether that was wise or not, but you have to appreciate the level of commitment she had to doing it,
100%.
And so I love working with athletes, and they are a blessing and they are a curse, right? Because they are highly motivated. If you tell them to do something, they're going to do it. The problem with them is sometimes almost slowing them down, right? Because if you tell them to do something 3 times, they're going to try to do it 80. And you have to explain how sometimes that's not the right answer.
Right. And we talk about that a bit not a bit, we talk about it quite a bit in clinic, we're just like, listen, if you're having pain, nobody gets a gold star for pushing through pain and, destabilizing their fracture or their hip or their shoulder or whatever it is that we're dealing with. And so you've got to be smart about that. But the thing is when you're that high level and you've got that number of people who are going to be helping her and who are motivated to get her where she needs to be, I think it's going to be, I think she'll have ultimately a very good outcome. I think it's interesting because the real risk of losing her leg is there, right? I mean, that was, and I think people myself included, would say, sometimes the media sort of overhypes things, but when you look at those x-rays, she is 100% in a category of patients who we would be having a conversation before surgery, like there's a chance that this does not work. There's a chance that you lose your leg before you leave this hospital. And obviously they were able to salvage her leg, which is wonderful. And then, if she can move from that point to being able to get up, walk around, potentially even start to even ski for fun again, right? That would be pretty impressive.
Yeah. Well, and you have to think, her wrist, she's not out of the woods yet, right?
Oh, yeah.
With that ACL tear, the risk of a knee dislocation, vascular injury, all of that, it's still
I didn't see any vascular stents or anything like that.
No, but she's going to be immobilized she's probably starting to do some motion, but she's going to be non-ambulatory for a while.
Right.
She's a woman now in her early 40s. So the risk for hypercoagulability, all of that's coming up. We don't know any of that side of things. And so the risk for any kind of like DVT to complicate her course, the risk, I'm sure we know that they're taking all the precautions to prevent it, but you can do everything right
and still
have it happen.
Yeah.
They can do everything right and she could still get an infection in one of those 3 plates. Right?
Oh, yeah.
She's not out of the woods.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's really not out of the woods yet. And so just hoping that she gets to a point where she, recovers, walks without a limp, is able to be active. She's got the attitude to get herself there, for sure. That's not the question. The question is just that the stars align and you don't have any of those setbacks.
Right. And I think, but that's the beauty. The beauty of having that athlete's mindset is that that's really where that's where they live, right? They live in the area of saying, I understand the risk and I'm going to keep pushing. I understand that, right? I'm not going to let infection, or I'm not going to let infection risk stop me from doing things. And I'm sure that there's some situational, mental, like that sports psychology side of this that's so difficult that none of us will really get to see, but that she's going to go through for sure, because you go from being somebody who's an elite level skier, exercising and working out as much as she was, to really probably doing a lot of nothing here for a while, right? In terms of motion, like I said, moving, working on that with physical therapy. I think that they're going to she's probably already doing some of those things, but the reality is, like, in all likelihood, the fasciotomies are going to need skin grafts. If they don't have those already, there's all kinds of different stuff that could be an issue.
Sure. Well, and you got to think, this is actually probably some of the hardest work she'll ever do.
Right.
Right? The mental work she's going to have to do now and is having to do now is much harder, in my opinion, at least as a former athlete, than going out to the course and having those long days and the long practices leading up to the Olympics. That is what she, wants to do, is trained to do, designed to do, and she has to give all that up and focus on intentional activity, intentional rehab, intentional focus on just giving her body what it needs, dietary, from PT, from rehab and rest and recovery and all those things. That, in my opinion, is much harder than the actual, like, I'm going to go out and prepare for the Olympics, right?
Right.
Because she's mentally ready to do that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You have to adjust your mentality to do the other.
Right. It's a much bigger deal for that high level of an athlete to set a goal of, I want to be able to walk without a limp, as opposed to, I want to be able to go down a mountain 70 miles an hour or 50 miles an hour or whatever it is.
Yep.
So I'm praying for her and wish her the best. I think that if anything, she's got an opportunity, no matter how things go, to really inspire people. She already has inspired so many people who said, how many people said she wouldn't even qualify. She couldn't do it. She's too old. A million different things that people could have said that were all nasty. I'm sure that she's got plenty of people who are
trolls,
throwing shade and hate everywhere. And there she was, and she was living her dream and pushing and doing the things that, everybody wants to do. And if you're afraid to fail, right, then that's a guaranteed way to never get where you want to go.
Yeah, failure is an opportunity.
Right. So I love that. I love the idea that she went for it, that she did it. When my family was in Beaver Creek, we had a guy who was who we got some lessons for our kids. He was 80 years old with bilateral total knees and could outski probably 95% of the people on the mountain. He had knee replacements on both knees and skied with my kids multiple days. His name was Wink.
Good Lord.
His name probably still is Wink. I just haven't talked to him in a while. But
just imagining like the mechanical force across those knee replacements. Thankfully, he's 80. So
he was tall. I mean, but like you said, I mean, ultimately you got to do things that we only have one life. Mm-hmm. You've got one life to live, right? And that's it. And so you can sit around and mope around about your knee arthritis, or you can go out and do something.
Right.
Right. You can, I mean, not all of us are going to be Olympians like Taylar, but.
Well, I had this conversation with a patient today. So without giving too much information away, but young person,
John Smith.
No. Young person who was a collegiate athlete.
Yep.
Like had that mindset now in middle age, let's say, but earlier than in typical onset of osteoarthritis.
Sure.
And so we were talking about things, and they're talking about how the goal is to stay active, and the person's in really good shape.
Right.
But like we're talking about like, okay, well, I was asking her about her habits. Like what's your exercise? Oh, well, I weight train 6 days a week. I run 7 days a week and run 2 miles every day. And I also do these extra classes and stuff like that. And this person has a full-time job too, right? And I said, okay, well, tell me about the things you love. Like, what are the activities you love doing from a physical standpoint? And she names all this stuff. I said, you know what I didn't hear you mention not one time? Running. You didn't mention once that you love to run. Oh, no, I just do that because I know it's good for my body. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, well, let's just look at these x-rays again and let's think about that. Like, is it what's best for your body now at this phase of life? Right? Or is that something that we could cut out or reduce and insert something else?
Lower impact, yes.
Correct. And so,
Swimming,
one of the things they talked about loving to do was rowing. They liked cycling. I was like, why aren't we putting our time and effort into doing that?
Right.
Something that's good for your joints, lower impact, is going to keep you doing the things that you want to do in spite of the fact that you didn't win the genetic lottery, right?
Right.
This person's at their ideal body weight, strong, but already has early onset osteoarthritis.
Right.
We just have to, I said, you have this one body. We get one. We don't get multiple, and we don't get to pick and choose. We have to work with what we got. You were put in an anatomic disadvantage and have early onset osteoarthritis.
Sorry.
Let's just get you doing things that serve you and keep you doing what you want to do. Like you love doing weight training. That's awesome. Let's keep doing that. Let's modify where we can, right? Let's not do lower body workouts 6 days a week. Your body needs time to rest and recover. You're putting a lot of force across both knees and doing it that way. Drop that down to 2 to 3 times a week, right? Add in some other stuff that promotes core strengthening, flexibility. Like make this your next challenge.
I agree.
And thankfully, like that at the end of that conversation.
And was she responsive?
Oh yeah. No, she was like pumped. She was ready. Yeah. She liked the idea of the challenge.
It's interesting because most of my runners, right? Most of our runners, that's how they live, right? That's that endorphin rush and that runner's high is what keeps them continuing. Yeah. And it's like my knee hurts really bad after I finish running, but I can't give that up because it's what keeps me sane, right? What helps me to balance the stresses of my work life, my family life, every other thing is going out and running. So if you tell me I can't run, then I'm going to be devastated. And so she falls into a different category, right? Where it's like running, I'm just doing it because I think it's good for me. Well, shoot, absolutely rowing, swimming, cycling, elliptical machine, doing low impact exercise, but still getting your heart rate up and doing your cardiovascular stuff without pounding the pavement, I think is, an outstanding option for her and for her ability. And then like you said, if you love, as long as you're not doing deep knee squats and then the big thing, especially for lower body, for any joint, when you've got arthritis, we just want to make sure that we are super, super cautious if we're pushing to failure. One thing that I've really seen is I've seen a big push to try to go all the way to the point of where your muscles fail, where you push to the point where you can no longer push anymore. And that is the spot where most people get injured. When you see those tendon ruptures, when you see people have a major issue in their shoulder or their elbow or their knee or their hip, is because they lose their form in that moment that they lose their ability to push. And all of a sudden now we have a major, major problem. And you've been doing great for 99% of your workout, but now in that moment where you're trying to get those final gains, you're trying to get that last 10 or 15%, and there's value to get there, but if you don't have great spine spotters, if you don't have people who can fit, who are on top of it, the minute you start to fail to get that weight off of you, then you end up injured. And then that's when you end up in our office.
Absolutely. Well, and that's why I tell everybody, my goal, if you're trying to like PR or go to failure, I don't want you to do something you can only do 1 or 2 of. You need to be able to do 6 of it. If you can do 6, that's a good weight, right? And you can get to that point of overload still there, but do it safer where you're not at as much risk. And when you get to the point where that 6 becomes you can do 12, right? Well, now we're ready to up it, right? Now we're ready to go to the next, increase in that weight to get back to where something's pushing us to where we can do 6 repetitions of it and we have to stop.
If we have any heavy weightlifters out there in our, 5 or 6 people who are watching, they are going to not like that. But
and that's okay, because my goal is not that I'm trying to become Arnold Schwarzenegger in the 70s.
Are you serious?
I'm serious. My goal is that I'm keeping my muscles as strong as they can to support my joints the best they can. Right?
I like that choice.
That I can take care of my kids, take care of my family, be active with them. We took them to a birthday party this past weekend where they were playing baseball, playing gaga ball, and all these things. I could do all that without any restrictions or limitations, which is not what I could say about myself a year ago, 2 years ago, definitely.
So are you trying to tell me that the team bodybuilding competition that I've signed us up for as an office is not something you're interested in?
I'm going to do it. I'll do it.
Yes. It's good. It's good.
Yeah. Yes.
I like it.
Where did you come from?
It's a lot of voices today for you.
I like do voices.
I like it. Very nice. Well, we talked about the Olympics. So Caleb has gotten back into running. He wasn't out of it by choice. He was out of it because he had an injury. But he ran a 4:51 mile this past weekend.
That's not too shabby.
Ran it like a 2:05 or something, 800. I was like, wow. I am exhausted from sitting in the stands. It's February and it's hot. And that is crazy to me. It's like, why am I getting sunburned in February at a track meet? But I did tell my wife, I said, I think that sitting at track meets and swim meets, that's tough stuff, man. If I had 20 children who were all running, maybe if I was a coach, I could handle it. But literally you're sitting there he did the 800 and then I waited for like 3.5 hours before he ran the mile. I was like, dear Lord, this is brutal.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a different phase of life because I grew up, my parents didn't come to any of my like sporting events or things like that. They dropped you off maybe, or you rode the bus and then you got dropped off at home that was them coming and sitting for that many hours is not a thing that would have happened.
I think for my parents it would have, but the track meets, you're probably correct. They would be like, good luck, bud.
Yep. Occasionally they came, but not.
It's fun to see him run and do well, which is kind of cool. Cameron finished his state championship swim meet. His team did really, really well. I think they set some school records, which was super cool. They looked really fabulous, so that was good. And then Caroline is playing tennis. She had a big tennis tournament this past week, and she won 2 or 3 and lost 1. So
nice.
I was like, that's pretty cool.
We love that.
So
get it, love.
Oh golly, she just lobbed that one up there.
Watch that backhand.
Here we go. It's tennis time.
You used a good button.
I hit the right button. Yes, all good. What else do we have to talk about, Taylar? I know we've worked our way through. We finished our book club, Unreasonable Hospitality.
Well, you and I have done it. You still have to do the team review.
We review it tomorrow, but book club, Unreasonable Hospitality was fabulous. I really love the book. I've listened to it like 4 or 5 times.
Yeah, we talked about that last time we were on podcast together.
It was super good.
Yeah,
so
good book.
I think that's been a game changer for our office.
Have you decided which one we're doing next?
I think we should do Extreme Ownership. I think it's a little bit of Navy SEAL action, so it's maybe a little more macho man than hopefully the whole crew will latch on. But I think that idea that you take ownership of everything, that a good solid leader and a good teammate tries to figure out how could I have made this better as opposed to whose fault was this, you know? And I think there's a lot of opportunities to make that to where we can use this book to help continue to make the office better, to continue to make serve our patients better, to continue to work together better, but also I think just for personal growth, whether it's within your family, within your hobbies, within your work life, whatever it is, we can owning the outcomes and owning the process is something that's very valuable, I believe.
There was a hint of that too in Unreasonable Hospitality when he talked about the steak.
Right.
Like the person who was upset that their steak wasn't cooked to the temperature they wanted when really it was, but their understanding of the temperature, like, and so that guy like being upset and telling the patron like, no, this was cooked. This is medium rare.
Medium rare. Yes.
And the author suggests that you've made a bigger mistake by pointing out to the patron why they're wrong, instead of just acknowledging that they want it cooked differently and getting to an understanding of what that is and solving the problem for them. Right.
Right.
You know, so I find that, you know, it seems to be helpful sometimes to not like, even as much as it sometimes is tempting to point out when you're right and they're wrong, instead to realize that we both lose, right? If you see things that way, instead, again, take ownership of what you can, right? And then go from there, come to mutual ground with the person. Like the patient that showed up, 30 minutes late to their appointment with me, but then was still upset when I was 5 minutes behind, right? Like, I'm sorry I didn't meet your expectation of how quickly I should have been in here. Like, instead of saying what I wanted to say, which is, well, you showed up late, then you didn't have any of your paperwork filled out, and we still had to verify your benefits because you hadn't given anybody your insurance. Like, you could be that person.
Right.
That's one path you could take. And I think, some people would probably argue that you should at least allude to that so this person doesn't end up perpetually mad every time they go to a doctor's office and they're always feel like they're getting like left behind. But I think there's a way to do that, to set the expectation like with that person of like, hey, I'm sorry that, I didn't get in here when you wanted me to, that's on me. That's for sure. Do you think you could do me a favor? And next time when you come in to see us, if you're going to be late for your appointment time, could you give us a call? Right? Let us know that you're running behind. And if you can fill that paperwork out ahead of time, like, man, that makes things go a lot quicker. Just giving them those pointers. And some people, it does not matter. They're still going to be,
So the unreasonable hospitality side is coming from that angle, right? To say, hey, how can we make this still the best possible opportunity for you? The extreme ownership side, which is very interesting, is to say, okay, that patient was late getting here. How can I own that? Right. Which is some of the stuff we're talking about doing. Like, let's call early. Let's confirm their appointment times. Let's make sure they know where they can go to do this. And you say, well, did we do those multiple steps to get where we need to get so that we could do that? And so that's the kind of flip side of the extreme ownership side, is like, hey, this person was late, but I'm going to own the fact that they were late because I didn't set the expectation. I didn't do whatever it is that you were supposed to do, that you were going to do. And it just changes the mentality of the team when everybody starts to do that and starts to take that ownership of what they're doing. Right. And that part to me is really cool, because then everybody starts going, like, you start to have that ability. I mean, he talks about cover and move, decentralized command. Like, do we need Taylar to answer every question about every patient, or can we take some ownership as a team, which our guys do a pretty good job of, but like, whether we're following up or doing these different things, do we need that, or can we take that onto our own? Can we identify those spots that where we need to have that touch with the upper level leadership, or can I lead and own it for myself? So I think it's going to be an interesting exercise to go through that book. I think it's going to be I think it'll be good for us. I think we have that one. I think the queued up books are finishing up Unreasonable Hospitality tomorrow. Extreme Ownership is on the list. Headamentals, which is the negative self-talk book, which I think is valuable for everybody, just in terms of leadership and just general life. Some crazy numbers in that book, right? Sure. Having 60,000 thoughts per day, which is like, how'd you even calculate that? But there's Harvard research about the number of thoughts and what percentage of those in general are negative, and it's like 80+%. So you're talking about having 42,000 thoughts a day of just, or 4, or whatever the number is.
Sure. And then after that, are we reading Wuthering Heights? Is that what's next on the agenda?
No.
By Mrs. Bronte?
Maybe Atomic Habits.
That's a good book. I've read that one.
I like Atomic Habits a lot.
Yep.
That's a fabulous book. And then we go from there.
Maybe A Court of Thorns and Roses, Fourth Wing.
No. I don't even know what you're talking about. I'm a simple country doctor.
From Houston.
From good old Houston, Texas. Come on down to Hilton Americas.
Go Texas.
See us at the Aspire.
They have the Bulls.
Oh, I thought you were throwing up Longhorns on both sides. I was like, yeah, that's more like it. The poor Longhorns. Yes. Yeah, I was like, dear Lord, Taylor.
Taylor, what
has happened? What's in your Alani?
You know me. I'm a Cowboys fan. Don't tell everyone.
You're a Cowboys fan?
You know that.
So you're used to crying a lot.
A lot, yeah.
During football seasons.
I'm used to being let down.
Were you alive when they won a Super Bowl?
No.
You were not.
I don't
right?
believe so. No.
When did the Cowboys last win a Super Bowl? We can figure it out. Jimmy Johnson.
When did the Dallas Cowboys last win a Super Bowl?
Here's an answer from BetMGM.com.
I was alive. January 28th, 1996. Over the Pittsburgh Steelers.
You were alive.
I was 8.
Were you a Cowboys fan?
You know, what's interesting, too, is I was talking to my daughter this morning.
Talking to Siri?
No, I was driving them to school and counting Blue Cars by Dishwalla. You know the song?
No.
Tell me all your thoughts on God.
Yes.
Okay. So that song was on, and my Axel, the 5-year-old, asks, Mom, were you alive when this song came out? And I said, yes. I said, this song played a lot when I was a kid. I really liked this song. He said, how old were you? And so I looked it up, and it came out in February of 1996. So right around the time the Cowboys, that was a good year for me. We got Counting Blue Cars. I was in 2nd grade with Mrs. Finster. We've got the Dishwalla came out with that classic one-hit wonder. I love it.
You were living it up.
96 was a good time.
There you go. Fabulous. Well, we got a big week ahead. Next week, I don't know who we have on the list, but I'll check it. I think it might be me and you again, unless somebody jumps in. And then March 10th is the Aspire Tour. Podcast on the road. Taylor's going to be coming in via satellite. Yes, she is for sure, 100%. And then the 18th, I think we have a couple of folks who are one coming in virtually, and then the CMO of the hospital, Dr. Vidala, coming on.
What?
On March 18th.
Dr. Vidala?
Yeah, so that's going to be
awesome.
super fun. I got to get him a pie, which will be cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So we got a lot of fun, a lot of excitement coming up. So if you want Emerald Double tickets to Aspire, you can send us an email, shoot us a message, find us on Instagram, find me on Facebook or LinkedIn. We'll send you the link and the promo code. It gets you a $450 ticket for free. As my guest. The Emerald Double tickets. We're going to work on the Emerald Lounge. We're going to hopefully do podcasts, live streams, interviews, photos. I'm going to try to invite as many speakers as I can to get in there. Who knows how that'll work, but we'll do it and see how it goes. We'll have most all this stuff except for the big black stuff on the walls in the mobile podcasting studio. We'll have cameras and get things set, and I think it's going to be a ton of fun.
And as somebody who's not, affiliated with or going on Aspire tours, but did attend one, only slightly against my will last year, it was really inspiring. I think it was a good event to go to. I enjoyed going there. I tried to go with as much of an open mind as I could, but to me, a lot of these things come across as a little bit like gimmicky, but I really enjoyed it. I felt like I learned a lot. I felt like I was inspired. I felt like I was, I learned some things that I wasn't aware of. And I thought it was really worthwhile. It was a good way to spend our day.
Yeah.
So
I think, it was I don't know that it was an actual turning point for us. I think it was in the motion of us trying to sort of expand our goals and outreach and what we wanted to do. But I think, we'll have another opportunity. Kevin O'Leary, obviously a great speaker, David Meltzer, the the former sports agent for the movie Jerry Maguire. He is a very motivational speaker who will be there. Marcus Lemonis, Cody Sanchez, who wrote the book, I think, Main Street to Millionaire. And then there's a whole bunch of other folks. I'll be on a panel. I think it's going to be super, super fun. It's going to be here in Houston. So we're going to try to pack the house with people who know us, which is going to be even more fun. Oh, we also need recommendations for a walkout song. You want to know what Ashley's recommendation was?
You told me already, but
I did?
Go ahead.
Well, the name of the song is Right Hand Man from Hamilton, but it's Here Comes the General.
Yep.
Rise up.
Yep.
It was, and I was like, that's pretty funny. Ladies and gentlemen, the moment you've been waiting for. Anyway, it was super cool, but super excited to do that. Yep.
Was looking at my notes from when we went to Aspire last year, and I have my Kevin O'Leary ones here. I was just curious.
What did he say?
The one the note that I remember the most from him was talking about the mother and daughter fighting, like the authenticity that you saw in the mother and daughter that were selling their cupcakes. They
were selling cupcakes in a mason jar or something crazy like that, and but then they fought with each other, and America fell in love with them, and then they were like sold out for months or something crazy like that, and he had invested in them and just blew it up. So yeah, it's a very, very cool opportunity, and they set it up really nicely. There's a couple of different kind of side hustle things if you decide you want to do it. They have another conference that you can get where it's money management with Andrew Cordell, and then Eddie Wilson does the real estate side, which is kind of like, I don't fully have a great understanding of it, but basically there's a ton of capital money to try to link lenders with buyers, and then you're the person in the middle and you help to do that, and then that mobilizes the capital, but then you also get paid. So I think those are the two kind of selling things that get sold at the conference, but mostly it is just motivational, inspirational business, folks who have been in the positions where people in the audience have been, who are now in positions where they're doing $1 and $1 billion deals and whatnot. And you're like, that's pretty cool. Yeah. So, and then there's me.
Just a simple country doctor
from Houston. So glad to be here.
Glad to have the opportunity.
Right. Thanks so much, David Meltzer, for having me today.
Come out in your overalls with a piece of wheat sticking out of your mouth.
That would be perfect. Or I could come out in my ski clothes, just ski right into the airport and then just fly in. I think my flight lands at midnight. I think I get to the hotel around 1:30 in the morning, and then the thing kicks off at 7, and I've got to try to get there early enough that we can set up this Emerald Lounge. But now I apparently have committed myself to, since I've been talking about it on our podcast. And once you do that,
you've let that cat out the bag.
The cat is out of the bag, so to speak. Well, thank you again, Taylar, for being here. We'll play some applause for you, my favorite guest. Your eyeball dancing. I like it.